Hello and welcome to 120 Days in Movie Podcast. This is Chuck.
This is Daniel.
This is Brendan.
Cool.
What episode
That
are we
was
on?
that was probably the
Oh.
smoothest one we've ever done. And yeah, this is episode 55
Oh man, we're getting
Nice.
close.
to 60.
Close to 60,
Yeah.
the halfway point.
Halfway.
Yeah, one day. But yeah, we saw another movie. We saw The Wicker Man 1973. And yeah, it was Brick's pick. That'd be a cool segment, like Brick's pick.
Yeah, we should do that. That's what this podcast needs, is like segments. Like,
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know I don't know what Brick's picks would be. Because it's all just our opinions, but we'll think of something. It'll be
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, we'll think of different segments for like all three of us. That'd be cool.
right. And now everyone's favorite segment, Brick's picks. Take it away.
Woohoo!
Just like
But yeah, I was gonna say, you can kind of give a summary of the movie if you want, or whatever.
Quick summary. It's about like a police officer. I don't know where he's like from exactly. I guess London or
I think everyone's from Scotland.
I think so.
no, everyone's from Scotland. Okay, but he's from
Oh,
like
what
the
did you
mainland.
say, Dan? I chose Dan's opinion.
No, I just said I think so too. I think he was from
Oh, okay.
the mainland Scotland, and they were in like a Scottish island.
Okay, yeah. So then he goes to this island to basically find out what happened to this missing girl, this missing child. And yeah, then we just see him navigating the island and its people and its inhabitants and getting culture shock from them.
I mean, more than culture.
Yeah.
I guess there is culture shock. That's a good point.
Yeah, that does. But the way you put that does sound like you can't tell. Is it a horror movie or is it like this is one kooky vacation? Like it's just
It's definitely a kooky vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get straight into like talking about spoilers. Because I feel like this is a kind of an older movie too. And I feel like the whole main the title is a spoiler kind of.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
No, wait, actually, I don't know what are you guys talking about?
The title is called Wicker Man, and you see the Wicker Man at the very end.
Oh, yeah, that's like the thing that he goes into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like it doesn't come up like until the last 5 minutes of the movie. Like that's the only relevance of the Wicker Man and like to the plot is at the very end of the movie, the way he is killed. Spoilers. Here we are. He's put into a Wicker Man, and they name the whole movie after that. It's just sort of funny.
Yeah, and they set it on fire.
Yeah, that ending was so like impactful to me.
Me too. I love the ending. The ending was amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, what?
I also love his reaction. He's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
Yeah, oh god.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like that was so well acted. Because the entire time I'm like thinking like, oh, like this, like his performance is okay. Like he's not the craziest main lead. But like that scene, I'm like, yo, he's killing her.
Yeah,
it's like they told him, like they didn't tell him, like, oh yeah, you're actually going to be put in that thing.
You're right. They didn't tell him it was a movie. Like they were just like, so.
Yeah.
I thought the lead was very good. Like throughout, like you're right that the ending is really when is like his big moment, because most of the movie he's like by design like very. What word would you use? Reserved, right? Like, so he doesn't really get a chance to like freak the fuck out until the end.
Yeah, but like in that acting scene in the end, I love like just like the change in emotion from like damning them and like anger, but then like the more he accepts like, oh man, I'm actually about to die. It's like then he
He like sells it so well. Like you can kind of see him go through like the 5 stages of grief. Like not grief. What was it called?
Yeah, you're right. The 5 stages.
Oh yeah.
He's grieving for himself.
Yeah, he's grieving for himself.
Yeah. That's a good point, Brendan. It's like it's good like writing too. I mean, it's both, and that like it is like it's not. I mean, the ending all comes pretty quick. Like I said, 5 minutes. I don't know if it's really 5 minutes. It's pretty close. Like from the reveal to the ending. The reveal being that he's actually the sacrifice. And it is like, in like a really authentic feeling way, he goes between like, yeah, first he's sort of shocked and in disbelief, then he does go through like all these, like kind of all the things you would probably think of, like, how do I convince them not to do this? Like, don't do this, it's murder. Don't do this, they're going to come for you next. Don't do this, it's not going to actually help. Like, he sort of goes through
Yeah,
all the
he's trying to logically like explain it to them in the moment and like try to come up with different reasons.
right, and of course
Yeah.
none of it works. It's just like, yeah, it feels like very real, and it is like pretty like this movie isn't like scream out loud scary by any stretch, but like that is like sort of scary and unsettling because it's just that feeling of powerlessness. I think, like when you sort of think about, I mean, I don't want to think about being in that situation, but just sort of the hopelessness of it. You know, there's nothing he could have said to get them to change their minds. It seems.
Yeah, they were like so
Yeah,
unreasonable.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
yeah,
oh, go ahead, Chuck.
Nope. You go.
Nope.
I was just gonna say like that like that plot twist, I guess, at the end, the reveal that like this entire time he was chosen, and it's like they were leading him on to do these like, I guess, specific rituals where he had to like dress like that. He had to go through that whole. He had to be the one to choose to go to like, I guess, the location. Like all of that was just like, wow, they were in his like. He was in their palm the entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was being manipulated the entire time, which is kind of like
Mhm.
also scary in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll say one sort of critique is I kind of wish they'd planted those seeds a little earlier. Not because I wanted to be able to guess it, but like the rule, like they reveal at the end, like, oh, you're the perfect candidate because I think it was 4 things. It was like, because you came here of your own free will, because you're a virgin, because you have authority, you know, because you have kingly authority because he's a police officer, and it was like
Mhm.
one more thing. Oh, because he's a fool because he fell for it was the other part. And it's like I think it would have been cool if maybe they somehow introduced those concepts earlier, because like they kind of reflect, like, because I was thinking about it, I was like, it sort of reflects the fact that they were going to sacrifice a virgin, and then there's the fool character who's king for a day, like, but I don't know, it just felt a little bit like it was a great twist, but I was like, oh, it would have been cool somehow if they could have like alluded to,
Yeah, if there was more
like I said, those rules.
foreshadowing, something like you really
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, you really don't see that coming at all, and there isn't really
Mhm.
good seeds anywhere.
Yeah, which like can be fine because it would have been worse if like we saw it coming from a mile away, and I don't think it feels cheap like completely
Yeah.
because it does ultimately like come together and sort of make sense. But like I said, I just think it would have been cool if like the kind of, because we learn a little bit about like the mythology or whatever, the religion, and it would have been cool if like you could sort of, I don't know, maybe it was more consistent throughout.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I do feel like that like you kind of do get like inklings that like obviously like something is weird and something
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
like there like the fact that like this entire place is just like it's called paganism, right?
I think
Oh,
pagan.
is that the?
So, well, I don't want to like. I was thinking about this too. Maybe I should have looked it up. Paganism, I think, is a very broad, like a broad label. Like I don't think like there's a single religion that's like capital P paganism. I think
Hmm.
to describe a pagan religion is like a non-Christian polytheistic religion. Like it's kind of a category. But yeah, so I think you would call these people pagans.
So
Okay.
and they're pagans in the sense that like they don't believe in like what everyone else believes or like
So
what is it like entail? Like he calls them pagans at the end, right?
he does, and like I'm being a little bit cautious about describing it because I think for one thing, like it sort of has a negative connotation. Like I think
Oh, really?
how
Oh.
well, like I don't think it's not like a slur or anything to my mind, but like the idea of calling someone, like in the context that he's calling people pagans, like there's I think a historical context for like pagans to be like with a rise of Christianity, pagans would have seen as like heathens, barbarians, you know, whatever, like
Mm.
as which is kind of the context in which this movie exists. Like it's not like it's ignoring that. Um, but I like I said, I think the concept of paganism is not a single religion. I think it refers to like a sort of polytheistic, is that the word you use, meaning believing in more than one god. And maybe there's some
Mhm.
other some other elements. But I think, yeah, like to me, the fact that they're like worshiping these different gods that like represent different elements of nature, that's like very pagan in terms of my understanding of it.
Yeah, I thought like a lot about like the Aztecs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I haven't heard paganism refer to like that, but you could be like, yeah, that could be true.
Yeah, I was like, it was weird. I was thinking of Apocalypto a lot.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I have not seen it, but don't isn't.
what?
I know. Sorry, it's on my list.
Brennan's freaking out.
No, I loved
His
it so much.
his mic blew out
Okay.
from saying what?
Yeah, yeah. We
What?
lost
Like,
him. Yeah.
please.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch it. It is literally like on my list. I think it's on some streaming service I have, and I keep meaning to watch it. But the Aztecs, it's like the sun god, right? Is that or maybe are there
Yeah, they
multiple
believe
gods?
like they believe that like sacrificing someone to the sun god would give them something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of sounds familiar.
hmm Yeah, Apocalypto was directed by Mel Gibson, right?
Hmm.
I think
He's a
that's right.
crazy guy. Yeah, he's a crazy guy.
Yeah, is he back? Have we just all collectively decided to forgive Mel
No,
Gibson?
he's made shitty movies again. Like,
Okay, cool.
yeah. Well, it's like I feel like Apocalypto is his only good movie. I've never. I think I've. This is gonna be a really off
I feel
topic,
like he
but
was a good actor, wasn't he? Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
been
He was.
yeah,
Like he was in like
just a
the
shit
original.
director.
Yeah, I mean, depends who you ask, because he also
Yeah.
made like the Passion of Christ.
Yeah, but that was just like everyone's first hint that this dude's mad anti-Semitic, right? I mean,
But he also
Yeah,
made Hacksaw
that's true.
Ridge, which was pretty good.
Yeah, that's
oh
a
yeah,
more recent one, and that's with the guy
Andrew,
Spider-Man, right?
yeah, Andrew Garfield, right?
hmm
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, I remember when I was in like church, and this might be like give an idea like what my church was like. They would play like the Passion of Christ during Christmas.
Wow, like, hey
Yeah,
everyone, you having a good time? Not
no,
anymore. Like,
no,
yeah.
but like Christians loved that movie when it came out. They were like, "Oh, this is
Oh,
like
I
the
remember. Yeah,
yeah." Like people were like, "This is like the movie to watch."
it really captures the suffering.
Yeah, no, they really. That
I
was the
know.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so bizarre. Sorry,
yeah.
I tangent out of the way.
No, it's okay. I could keep going. I think. Can I say one more thing that is like
Yeah, of
not
course.
relevant to anything? But here
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah.
I don't get like this isn't not unique to Mel Gibson necessarily, but when we get not us personally, but as like all of us collectively get into these conversations of like, is it time to forgive this or that person? You know, is it time to let them back and be famous again? And it's like I always feel like, look, like I don't, you know, let's use Mel Gibson as an example. Like somebody just recently it was like Robert Downey Jr. or something was like, it's time to let him back into the fold, and it was like the dude like how do I put this? Like, it's not his right to be incredibly successful and rich and famous, right? Like, I feel like that's the privilege that it's not like, oh, let's forgive him and make him incredibly famous and wealthy again. Like, can we just forgive him and just let him live his life in obscurity? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like if he was like an amazing like actor or director, that like that's another thing, right? Because it's like, oh, and like let's say like whatever Hollywood or like other executives don't like him because of the things he's done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And they're stopping him, but he is an amazing director. That would probably rub me the wrong way a little bit. But
Yeah.
but also be honest, like you don't need to go through those avenues to release that kind of art. Like you can always,
Right.
yeah, you can always release a movie independently, like Francis Ford Coppola, and make a shitstorm like
uh,
uh, what's it called?
Mega
Megalopolis?
Megaopolis, I think.
Mega.
Megaopolis.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
movie looks horrible. I've been watching clips. I don't know if I can like sit down and watch the entire thing though. It's like 3 hours.
Maybe that's what we should do for our episode 60.
Oh my
Watch
god.
Megaopolis.
Oh.
Or that could be Brick's pick.
Yeah, that could be Brick's pick.
Yeah.
Mega. No, pass.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Um.
No, but I
Yeah,
just
I don't
oh,
think I can
sorry,
ever
go ahead.
watch it. Sorry, that was my
That's
final
fine.
thing.
No, that's fine. I don't know if you guys are kind of the ones that put it on my radar. I had like maybe watched a trailer and then heard that again. I don't know why I'm on this. Just a theme's coming up here, but didn't Coppola get like accused of harassing a bunch of people on set with this movie? Or did I
Yeah,
miss it?
I heard about that, and he like made like kind of like a toxic work environment or something.
Yeah, it's just like, what's with people? Like, just chill, man. Like, you're
Yeah,
making a
and
oh, go ahead.
sorry, no, I was gonna say he was also like he also said like, "Oh, I want like to have only canceled actors," because he had
Oh,
like Shia LaBeouf in it, and I forgot the other person.
was Shia LaBeouf canceled?
That's what I didn't
Yeah,
know.
right. Like,
Yeah,
maybe he
wait,
doesn't know
Yeah,
what
what?
canceled means.
yeah, he was like, "Oh, I want like it be as controversial as possible."
Okay, that's fine, I guess. Seems like he missed the mark a little bit. I mean, Adam Driver is the lead, who feels like if you were going to pick an actor and say what actor does everyone seem to like and seems like just a nice guy and has no problems, I would probably say Adam Driver. So I
He
don't know
has a
really.
lot of shit movies now, though.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, I like everything he's been in recently has been shit.
Mm. I've never, despite what I just said, where he seems like a nice guy, and I haven't seen a movie of his that I don't think I've hated. I've never, I don't know, like I've never thought he was like an incredible actor. I always thought he was like pretty good. Although he's really good. He's pretty good in silence. Is probably what I feel like what I've seen him best in.
I don't think I've seen Silence.
It's very good. Martin
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Scorsese.
either.
It's very good. I would recommend it. Although you need to set aside like 3 hours and make sure you get a good
Mm,
night's sleep the night before because it's a tough one. But very good.
okay. Yeah, because he came out with he had Ferrari, The House of Gucci,
Oh wow, yeah.
y- The Last Duel. Did you guys hear about
Oh,
that one? Yeah.
I. It's Ridley Scott, right?
Yeah, and it was like shit.
Yeah.
There's also a movie called 65.
Oof. Oh yeah, the it's the future and the past or something. He
Yeah,
lands
dude.
on
He's
Dinosaur
been in
Planet.
some dog shit recently.
Wow. Wonder what's going on. What's his deal?
Nah, I think he's just as like whatever. Like I don't he doesn't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I mean, and look, like to a certain degree, I mean, I don't know him. I don't know what his motivation is, but it's like, it's a fucking job. Like if he just is getting offered work and does his best, what can you say really? You know? But whatever.
hmm
Mhm.
Going back to the original movie.
Yo,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like I think this is a pretty good like Halloween movie to watch. I like this movie more than I like Midsommar.
I was waiting for us to talk about Midsommar because
Yeah.
there's so many similarities of that just like doing
Mhm.
everything this one did. But I enjoyed this one way more personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I think I did too. I still like Midsummer or Midsommar. I'm not sure how to say it. I still like that movie, but this one I feel like is just like more. I don't know, like focused. Like I feel like it accomplishes more with less. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
L- Like not that many characters, like pretty limited location. Like obviously Midsommar is very similar, but
Hmm.
I just feel like my favorite thing about Midsommar was definitely the main actress's
Mm.
performance. I
Hmm.
thought she was great. I liked a lot more. I like the village leader in this a lot. It's Christopher Lee, right?
Yes, it is a
He's
young, well,
great.
relatively. Yeah, he
Like,
is very good.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
when you see him before like the big reveal, like you kind of like see, oh yeah, he's kind of like sort of charismatic, like he's kind of like aloof, like he's a pretty strange guy. And then once the reveal happens, you're like, oh shit, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, him in the role of the whatever they called that character, but as the mad woman with like in the parade is so bizarre.
hmm
Um, yeah, he's really great. I mean, this is like the things that I find most fascinating about this movie are like the the implication, like the like. I feel like there's a lot of great reveals that are like sort of subtle and like just like so. In the case of Christopher Lee's character, who I'm not remembering his name, do they just call him Lord Summerisle? Does he have a name?
I don't remember. I'm gonna check it up right
Okay,
now.
all right. Well, in the meantime, I'll call him the Lord. Is like you learn sort of his family history, and like it's so kind of detailed. Like there's like you get this big history lesson about like who his family is, and it's sort of bizarre and not at least what I would have expected, where his grandfather came to the island as like a botanist or something, and like was just the unique climate of this island. He was like, oh, we're gonna grow all sorts of fruit and it's gonna, whatever. And encouraged the the island's inhabitants to like revert to this sort of paganism, because I forget exactly what he said. Somehow he found that it like helped them work better, or just made them sort of like a better
I thought
community.
it was because of their crops. Like their crops failed one year, and then they like reverted to this.
I think, at least in my interpretation of what he is saying, I think that first grandfather, or not the first grandfather, his grandfather, who was the first lord of this island, didn't believe in this stuff. He saw it as a function. Like, it wasn't like, oh wait, my crops suddenly started coming together as soon as we started praising these pagan gods. To me, it sounded like he was saying,
You took advantage of it.
yeah, somehow there. I forget. Maybe I should have like written it down or something. But like he said something where it was like somehow them following this religion, like just in terms of like the way the community was structured, was more functionally in line with like they somehow made like better workers, or like he had better control over them. I think maybe that's what it was, where it was like he just decided, well, I'm going to make myself an authority, and how do I do that? I'll make myself a religious leader or something like that. But then it was his son, Christopher Lee's father, that like bought into it, and then raised his own son buying into it, where it was sort of this like almost accidental belief system, which isn't like hugely important necessarily to like the story, but it's just sort of interesting. And I'm not necessarily sure if that's meant to represent something. I don't know. I like when, like, I both enjoy when a story can kind of stand on its own without giving all this exposition and like without over explaining things to me. But I also appreciate when there's sort of an explanation that, I don't know, it like adds a certain texture to the world. Like it just sort of layers something on that's kind of like, maybe it makes you feel like this religion, like maybe you see a certain hypocrisy in it now, or maybe it makes you feel like, well, there must be something to it because people are not, people have bought into it, even though it wasn't really, it was almost a scam to begin with. I don't know, like it just kind of, it adds all these great questions.
Honestly, his lordship was so like calm and collected, I would believe him too. Like I would follow him. Like I don't know, he just had an answer for everything. He was just like, he's a pretty cool character.
bro, you're just gonna you're gonna end up at a random ass island.
It's like, oh no, but you have to meet our leader though. Yeah.
Oh my god. I was gonna say, like, I do. Are you guys like kind of interested in watching the remake now, or are you guys just not gonna step away from it and not watch it at all?
Just to see like how bad, just because like all I hear is terrible things, so I'm so curious like what they did that it's like, why is it that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way, especially since what I know about the movie, the 2006 version, seems so different. Like, is it even like is it a remake, or is it like what you know what I mean, or is it a sequel? Because like there's no, all I know from this 2006 version is there's bees everywhere. There's no bees in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the Wikipedia, so this might be wrong, but it's a remake and a reimagining.
Of course, the old reimagining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of imagery in this, like sexually.
Yeah, that made me think of the Holy Mountain.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I was like, oh wow, like are all 70s movies just like full of like naked people?
I was thinking the same thing, but I was thinking about Don't Look Now. Another
Yeah, that
70s
too.
horror movie.
That too.
Yeah. Nudity was just like, it's funny. Like, it's like there was just more, I don't know, accepted, or just, it was like just casual nudity in all these movies.
Yeah, they just didn't care. They were free. They were hippies.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
But sort of on that note, like I won't go on a long tangent. I'll try not to go on a long tangent. But the other element of this movie that I sort of found so interesting was the like very conservative Christian, presumably Catholic, like perspective coming to this island, and like the just his reaction to like their lifestyle, and particularly like their sexuality. I feel like that almost could have been like the movie on its own, without any like twist or mystery. Just like him, I guess the culture shock that you were talking about at the beginning, Brendan, like that actually I found like sort of really interesting. and almost like that also says something kind of about him. I almost feel like. Anyway, so that I feel like is really compelling too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I like that point as well. That's like the fact that like he is like culture shocked or like doesn't really understand like how these people are, and he's like kind of like offended by them, which is like
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. He's like,
Totally.
oh,
Yeah.
these guys are true heathens. Like they're the worst of the worst. They don't deserve anything. I like that. It just felt so good because it was like, oh, like it's not like he's the bad guy or the good guy. It's just like his perspective versus their perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I even think of like a striking scene to me, and maybe this is sort of through a modern lens. It has a special connotation, but like he goes to the schoolhouse, and he's literally like, "I see where all this debauchery begins. You're indoctrinating the children. You know, how dare you tell them about sex? You know, like it's just like really like again, we keep talking about like things feeling real or like authentic, and that was just like, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, he would be freaked the fuck out by that. Not that I necessarily think whatever lesson they were giving was like what I think a school lesson should be, but just I don't know.
Yeah.
That just like felt like a real dynamic that would happen.
Mhm.
Hmm.
There, I could see like a horrible conservative like right remake of this movie. Like,
Oh yeah, you're right,
yeah, yeah,
definitely. Because
yeah.
I was on.
He
Go
like he
ahead.
could
Sorry.
like I'm my first idea is like he goes to the island like obviously he's like super Christian and he's like, oh, these pagans, disgusting. And he actually saves the day. Like he converts everyone to
Mm,
Christianity. Like he controls the Wicker Man.
right. Well, the thing that I wondered was going to happen, and I don't think the fact it didn't go this way is like a weakness necessarily, but there was part of me is they really amped up where it's like, yeah, he's calling them heathens, like he really is offended by them. And there's people in response that are just like, well, you just don't understand. I was like, is the twist of this movie gonna be that there nothing's wrong? That there's no murder? That like it's cool? It's just literally that this dude hates that they're like sexually open. Like and is like so horrified by that, and like that's the tension here. Which I almost feel like I don't know if that would have been a better movie, but like that sort of would have been interesting. And as it is, I even think if someone was very socially or religiously like conservative, I feel like could view this movie as like the pagans are coming for Christians because in the end they do kill him, right? Like
Hmm.
they were
Yeah.
tricking him, like and it was all to kill, you know, the good Christian, you know, straight laced, straight white guy who was saving himself for marriage, like and he dies in the end. I don't
Yeah.
think that's not my reading of the intention of the movie. I don't think it's like this secret, far right, anti atheist or anti non Christian uh, message. But you know, I suppose someone could read it that way if they wanted to.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. Like the worst people.
Right?
Actually could see how like people can view it as like a low key critique of Christianity because some of the things that he was like mad about, it's like if you flip it, like for example, like what you just said, Anna, of like them what they learn in school. It's like,
Mhm.
well, in like a Catholic or Christian school, they're also taught values based off of their religion, which they believe to be true, in fact. So it's like he doesn't agree with theirs, but to them, it's like exactly what Christians would feel like in their own school.
Mhm.
Or like
Yeah.
at the end when he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, your gods are like they're nothing. They don't exist. You believe in like random people. He was basically like saying like what someone could say for God, like the Christian God.
Mhm.
So it was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Like really overtly, I think it's like this clash of like faiths, and I use the word faith because like we were talking about, or I was talking about, but all of us were like him logically trying to talk them out of this or that, and like all it is, it's just like if both of you are coming from the perspective of a matter of faith, like that's not a logic. You know, he can say Jesus Christ is my savior, and your gods are false, and they can say our gods are real, and you've fallen for organized religion, and it's like there's no argument, right? Like there's no way around that. It's just what you
Hmm.
believe. So it is this, yeah, like this real, just this real clash that kind of has no logical solution, I guess, like no argument that can be had that they're like going to come to a consensus.
Yeah.
Also, another bad ending would be like God saves him from like the Wicker Man at the end. Like he's like, "Oh, I told you guys, I was right."
Did you see this, Chuck? That so I first we'll talk about this a little later, but the opening credit sequence that says we want to thank the Lord Summerisle and his people for letting us study their practices. You remember that little
No
cut in?
way! I didn't see
That's what
that.
it says. And I was like, okay, like is this a joke? Like is this like a little bit of like a mockumentary thing, or is there a Summerisle that I assume they're not doing human sacrifice, but is there like a Celtic island or something where there's still like a pagan community? And I went to go look it up, and it seems like it's a joke, like it's like or whatever, like it's a little bit of whatever them acting
Taking the
like it's real.
piss.
Right, taking the piss exactly because it's British. But in looking for that, I saw that apparently there is an alternate idea for an ending that some like not the director, not the writer, but like some I don't know, producer or studio heads or something said that there should be a happier ending, and at the end of the movie, it should start raining and the guy's saved. Like that was like a suggestion.
That would
Can you?
be the worst ending
Yeah.
ever.
Can you imagine if it
Oh
was just
my
like, oh, I've been
God.
saved? Like, oh my God, yeah.
But it's also like they're just gonna keep him prisoner and just set him on fire tomorrow.
No, they would all then believe in God. And like it would all work
Oh.
out. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's
Dude,
not what I read, but like
I would have rather
yeah.
had my ending of like it's like him controlling the Wicker Man.
Yeah,
you're right.
I agree with Chuck.
Yeah.
Like if they were gonna lean
Yeah.
into that, might as well make it as so stupid as possible. Just like at least we can
Right.
laugh at it.
Yeah. No, but if there was actually a lot in this movie that like changed in like the final version or like the version that we watched that's ready accessible. There also was there's a cut where there's like an extra like 10-15 minutes at the beginning of like exposition where he's like in mainland Scotland and he's like at his police station.
Oh,
and
thank God they didn't have that.
Right? Wouldn't that have sucked? It's so good as it is. I can't believe that existed. It like is so lean and so well done as it is. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, they like the director did a good job. He made all the right decisions near the end.
I actually think not to undermine. I think that may have not been his call. I think that in fact, now I have to look up where I was reading this. I think that may have been a concession. I think when he said I'm not changing the ending, there may have been producers that said, "Well, you have to cut up the beginning then." I think that may have been what happened.
Oh, like that was like okay, well.
Yeah, but it worked out.
Yeah, it worked exactly.
It actually, I'm reading it. It may not have been related, but I don't know whether or not it was his choice. But whatever happened, it worked out. It was a good call either way.
He didn't make a lot of movies. He only made 4 movies.
Is the director still alive?
Yeah, the director. No, he died.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He only directed 3 movies and he wrote 4. That's crazy. Wow.
Was this his like last or first one?
No, this was his first movie.
Oh damn.
Yeah, his name was Robin Hardy.
I don't recognize any of the others, so maybe. Well, let's see. Let's click the next one. Maybe they're not quite as good.
No, like all of his other ones are not as popular.
And
I think he worked on The Wicker Tree.
Oof, The Wicker Tree.
And that's a movie?
Yeah.
Yes, apparently. I guess it's a sequel or something.
No, it's not even. No, it just contains many direct parallels and allusions. That's kind of cringe.
Yeah, it says it. I don't think it did too well.
Definitely didn't do that well.
Yeah.
There's a cool premise there.
What in this movie? Or
like the Wicker Tree. Yeah, like this is the tree that's used to make the Wicker Man. Wow.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I guess that's okay. This movie like the legacy. This movie can't win with its later adaptations. It's got 2 reimaginings, and both are not good.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of say like Midsommar's kind of reimagining, but
yeah, maybe so.
Like an unofficial.
I mean, it must have been a what's the word?
Inspiration, at least.
Yeah, an inspiration.
Yeah, I can see that at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I was gonna. Oh, my bad, Dan. I didn't want to cut you off. You go ahead.
All I was gonna say was, I guess like folk horror is like its own genre. like there's probably there may be other movies that like have these vibes that we're just not aware of. You know, I don't know how
That's
common it
true
is.
too.
Yeah.
I actually don't even know if I know any other folk horror movies.
I
Sure you
know
do.
The
You like The
Ritual.
Witch? Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that, but
That's like a
It's a
Netflix, right?
yeah. It's actually good though.
Yeah, I heard it's good. Like the ending is really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the monster is pretty scary.
Spoiler.
Oh, okay, that has a monster? How is that a spoiler?
Because you don't know what's happening.
and it
Okay.
turns out to be a monster.
Mm-hmm. Um, what was I gonna say?
Oh yeah, we were just going over like some other folklore.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
was saying
The
like The
Witch.
Witch. Isn't
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, by Robert Eggers, right?
I haven't seen it, but it seems
Mm-hmm.
folk horror-y to me.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like The Witch a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that ending a lot.
Yeah, I want to check that out. I still haven't. I don't know if I've seen any of
Oh yeah,
Eggers' stuff because I haven't seen The Lighthouse even.
Whoa, I love the
Oh
Lighthouse.
I
yeah.
Lighthouse.
know. I need to hurry up and just watch it. There's all these movies that I keep saying, just like, oh, I just need to watch them, and I just haven't.
We saw it in theaters.
Yeah, we saw. I was gonna say, is Lighthouse considered a Halloween movie?
I don't know.
I would say so.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it before the end of the month.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good Halloween movie.
God, The Lighthouse came
Yeah.
out 5 years ago. I hate that.
Why?
God, just because I look and it's like when we remember we watched 127 Hours, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, like I've never seen this. It feels like it just came out, and it come out like 10 years ago. It just makes me feel old. I guess is all I'm
Yeah.
articulating.
I used to feel that way, but now I feel kind of like cool. I'm like, oh wow, like I've seen a lot of movies since then.
I like that
Um,
perspective.
yeah, I guess so. I just hopefully you've done more than just watch movies in that time.
No,
Happy
that's
and
all the
hopeful.
only thing that matters.
Oh, okay. Check out my letterbox.
Yeah, just look. Yeah, just updating my letterbox every day. All right, let's get into ratings, guys. I'm just gonna give it a 10.
Wow, a
Oh
10.
shit.
Yeah, no, it's a classic. I think it's like a
Yeah,
instant classic.
yeah.
Damn,
I'd say it's
nice.
classic. I don't know, Brendan. You go first. I can't decide.
I'll go with an. I would need to do another rewatch, but I would go like 8.5.
Yeah,
That's
I think.
respectable.
Yeah, I think I'll give it an 8. It's like I feel like I may, as time goes on, I may even like it more as I think about it. But for now, I'll give it an 8, which is a good score. Great score.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, yeah. Thank you for the
Nice.
recommendation.
Nope.
Yeah, it was
This was
pretty
on
good.
my watch
This
list for so long.
Yeah, and I was gonna say this might be like a staple for me in like the Halloween season now. Like this might be like a movie where I like, oh, I have to watch it every Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like it's a good
Yeah.
one too to like recommend to people because like
Oh
I
yeah.
doubt very many people have seen it.
hmm It's yeah. I was gonna say before we get into what we watched, what's like a good Halloween staple for you guys?
Oh, for
Ooh,
me, my top horror film of all time, and I watch it every single Halloween, is Scream, the original.
Oh yeah, that's a classic, man.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one. Yeah, I don't really have a ton of like Halloween staples or like horror staples. I probably one of my favorite horror movies that I can think of off the bat is The Shining. That's probably the horror movie I've seen the most. So if I
Yep.
did have a Halloween staple, it'd probably be The Shining.
Yep. That's one of mine too, Dan. You just
Yeah.
stole mine from under me.
Oh, sorry.
Me and Chuck were just talking about that
Yeah,
before.
I'm having people over, and we're gonna watch The Shining.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great group watch too.
Oh yeah, I like.
Yeah.
I love people's like reactions to like the last 30 minutes.
Oh God,
Mhm.
yeah. It gets
Yeah.
so off the walls. I still don't know. Like, there's so much. Like, there's no other movie probably has more like 10-second intervals that like I have no fucking idea what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, there's just
And
that
you're just
last
enjoying
sequence.
yeah, and you're just
Yeah,
enjoying you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is a vibe."
right. That last sequence is just like Shelley Duvall, just like turning corners and seeing something else, just uncomprehendable, and like running away.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, Shelley Duvall was, like, considered a bad actress after this movie came out?
Like
What?
people
I
didn't
wasn't.
like this performance, or
Yeah,
people.
they like,
Oh,
I
really?
think she got nominated for a Razzie.
Well,
That's
the Razzies
ridiculous.
existed back then. Yeah, it's a classic performance. Are you kidding me? It's a classic
Yeah.
performance. She's so
No,
good.
like she was so good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like such a God. Wow. I'm like, unfortunately, I guess now that I think about it, I'm not shocked because I feel like the brilliance of that performance is like how like awkward and sort of this is rude, but like she's
Innocent.
playing innocent. Like she's playing a character that's like kind of meant to get on your nerves and is just like to a fault, just like almost a little bit clueless, which isn't fair, but like that's the perspective of
Mm-hmm.
what's the main character's name? Is it Jack?
Yep, Jack.
Jack, like sort of his anyway. Like so, I don't know. I guess maybe people would not get that she's sort of playing this innocent sort of sort of I don't I'm trying to think I can't even think of the word, but just almost childlike character in a way.
Oh,
Uh,
I didn't even say this, but rest in peace to her. I forgot that she passed away recently.
Oh yeah.
oh, did she? Yeah, rest in
Yeah.
peace.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But yeah, no, she it's bullshit. It kind of pisses me off that she got nominated for a Razzie.
Yeah, I'm glad they rescinded it though, like from the link you sent.
Yeah, I saw that, but like, why the fuck did she get it in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like such
crazy.
disrespect.
The
But who
Razzies
knows?
are so stupid anyway. Like just
Yeah, I agree. Razzies overall are pretty shit.
I just feel like let's just celebrate the good stuff. Do you really need to like go out of your way to I don't know, just like decide that something's shit, like try to make it objective? Just sort of seems sort of mean spirited to me.
Yeah, but I do respect. Okay, I will say this: sometimes Razzies do uncover some crazy, horrible shit.
Okay. and,
And
and
like,
and bring it to your attention.
yeah, and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's like, I maybe that's on my watch list now.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, they clearly they have a place.
Yeah, like the winner for last year was called Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey. That
Oh, I've
seems.
heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
didn't
heard
know,
of
but
that.
this looks fucking horrible. I like want to watch this like tonight.
Yeah, came out right after Pooh went. What do they call it? Public
Oh
domain.
yeah, public domain. Yeah, like the
Yeah,
copyright ran out.
I wanted to watch it. Well, actually, I won't say anything if you're going to watch it. I don't want to spoil anything. There's a specific thing about it that I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but there was something I was hoping for in that movie, and when I found out it wasn't the way I thought it would be, I just decided not to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you would care though. So let me know if you watch it, and I'll tell you what I wanted from it.
You don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say this too, so you never feel bad about spoiling certain stuff to me. I
Oh yeah.
feel like bad movies are unspoilable.
Okay. Well, do you want me to tell you what?
Oh
I
yeah,
was
Yeah.
yeah.
disappointed
Please,
by?
please,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
I thought it would be fucking hilarious because like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, like it's a horror movie, but it's got to be like tongue in cheek, right? Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought it'd be hilarious if Killer Pooh Bear talked with his Pooh Bear voice. You know, he's just like,
Oh, that'd be great.
and like apparently I don't think he does talk at all. And I was like, what a fucking missed opportunity. Like I wanted it to be Pooh Bear, but in like walking up, I can't do his voice, but just like so, right, yeah. When I found out he wasn't talking, I was like, why the fuck would you make him talk? So he's
Mhm.
just a killer in a mask, like basically. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. By the way, Dan. Sorry, this is a little off topic, but on
That's all
topic.
right.
You have to think about your movie.
Yeah, I'm pulling a Brendan and I have some choices for us.
Oh god damn it!
Woohoo!
I hate you guys. Okay. All right. Let's go through and talk about what we've seen recently.
Oh yeah.
All right. You said oh yeah, so you go first.
Okay. I just saw Coraline with my nieces yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I love Coraline.
Me too. Yeah. This was a rewatch.
Another one I have not seen. Coraline.
What?
I
Dang.
know.
You gotta.
I know. Is that Halloweeny? Like, should I watch it?
Oh
Probably?
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
very Halloweeny.
Okay, cool.
But it's a great like kids Halloweeny movie.
Right, right. I mean, isn't it? Is it Tim Burton or is it not?
I think it is Tim Burton.
Are you guys sure?
No, I'm not. I haven't seen
I don't know. I thought it was Tim Burton.
Oh.
Coraline. I could. Let's see.
It's with a O. It's a little...
No,
Oh, yeah.
directed by someone named Harry Selick. Henry Selick.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Oh,
for him.
this is the guy who actually directed The Nightmare Before
Oh
Christmas.
yeah. I should have
Yeah.
recognized. Yeah, I should have recognized his name because weren't we just talking about that? Or maybe I was talking
Yeah,
about someone
it's
else.
called Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, but Tim
Right,
Burton's
and
even
it's directed by this other guy. Man, this guy's gotten fucked because we're literally sitting here like, oh yeah, Coraline, Tim Burton, right? Like this dude cannot get away from it.
maybe he's trying to be low key though. That is like if he's trying to be low key, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, look, yeah, if that's his goal, he's done it. Good job, man.
So yeah, I saw that, which is great. And then I also, this was like maybe like a week ago, I rewatched Green Street Hooligans, which I love.
Bruh.
And that's it.
Is
That's
that the
it.
one with Elijah Wood?
Yeah. Oh my god,
I
you
don't,
see
think
it?
I've ever, I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. Maybe I have. I feel like it used to be on TV. I'd watch it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I don't. I mean, I didn't leave much of an impact. Maybe I need to go back and watch it if you really like it. But
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying like it's like a ooh, wow, like an amazing movie written. Like none of that. It's just
you just like it. No, I respect
yeah,
that. I get it. We all
I
have
just
those
love
movies.
it. Yeah, just those two.
Cool.
Cool.
Dan, you want me to go or you want to go?
I can go. I did not watch much this week. In
Okay.
fact, I think the only thing I watched was a rewatch, and I rewatched Billy Elliot.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Oh man, so good. Have you seen it, Chuck?
No, Billy Elliot. What are you guys talking?
Oh,
That's just a person's
so
name.
good. I'm not shocked at all that Brendan's seen it because it's like a coming of age thing, which is like
Yeah.
his favorite. So good. I fucking get like emotional every time I watch it.
Mhm.
The fucking ending. Talking about great endings. That movie has
All right. I added to my watch list
fantastic
of like
ending.
500 movies.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's with Spider-Man. Or no, not Spider-Man. Or it is
no,
Spider-Man.
it's
That's
not
not
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Who do you think it was? It's not Tom Holland. Tom Holland was like a baby when this movie
Oh
came out.
yeah, okay, yeah, it's not
It's
him.
Jamie Bell, who was like not. I feel like has not been in that much since.
Oh, he's the main character of Snowpiercer. For your information.
Oh yeah, yes. Well, he's the main character, sure.
No, he's not. No, he's not. That's Chris
No,
Evans.
yeah, he's been in some stuff. You know, he's good. He's like a kid in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great. Like a very. I don't want to talk it up too much, but I just really like it. It's just sort of really nice movie, sweet movie.
Yeah, you should definitely watch Chuck.
Yeah, you would like it. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm down.
And the other thing, this is not a movie, but I'll give it a little call out just because I haven't seen much else. Started playing this game with just the worst title. The worst title. It's called Metaphor Reef. What is it called? Metaphor Refantasio, I think is how you say it. Oh, it's an awful title. Fantastic game. I haven't played it that much, but it's awesome. I don't really have that much to say about it because I haven't played that much, but it's like a JRPG, sort of fantasy.
From the creative minds behind Persona 3, 4, and 5. All right, now we know Dan loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's cool.
You love your JRPGs. That's respect.
I kind of come and go, to be honest. But you're right. I do love Persona. I've never played 3, but I played 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's really in that style of game. So good though. And by the way, I won't talk too much about it but I'm sort of intrigued because it's like really overtly like political, like not even in a vague way, but like in a very direct, explicit real world way, which I feel like is sort of rare for video games. Like it's literally like I don't want to give anything away, but it's like it's not just like, oh man, it's great when everyone has a voice. It's like literally like talking about like the pros and cons of libertarianism versus like, the shortcomings of like a revolutionary movement and what and fucking like, the place of like affirmative action in like an unequal society and like these like legitimate nuanced topics, which is like pretty cool considering like based on its aesthetic you would not expect it to go there, but it does, so it's pretty cool.
Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I have to give it a try too.
Okay, yeah, set aside like 80 hours, dive in.
Yeah. That's true RPG like length.
I know. That's honestly, I feel like the hardest, the most difficult thing about recommending it to anyone is like, yeah, if you have to really like it to like commit the time.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
I still always will play the Persona 5 soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
the one
good.
thing I get out of that game. The soundtrack is so good.
You heard it enough with me sitting on the couch
Yeah, yeah,
playing
yeah. And I'm like, oh,
it.
this shit
Yeah,
slaps. I
actually,
have
it's
no
this.
idea what's going on your screen, but I'm like, ooh, this is like,
Yeah, it's just flashing lights basically. But it's this. I'll tell you, it's the same composer for this game that composed all the music for Persona 5.
oh, dude, that sounds so
Complete,
good.
completely different genre, but legitimately look up. I'm going to tell you the experience you're going to have. You're going to look up the Metaphor Refantasio battle theme. You're going to listen to it, and you're going to think, "This is pretty cool." No, wait, this is stupid. I don't understand this, and then you're going to love it. You're
Oh,
going to have
okay.
like a whole arc.
Hmm.
It's fucking awesome. Is where I've landed. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
All right, yeah, I'll wrap things up real quick. I was gonna just talk about two anime and then a movie.
that's fine.
Um,
Yeah.
I guess I'll just talk about Uzumaki first. Uzumaki is like a Junji Ito manga that's finally been like made into an anime. It's been like made for 3 years. If you watch it, just watch the first episode. The other episodes didn't get a budget, and
Ah,
no,
That's
seriously,
crazy.
yeah, they like the creators, like the editors, everyone working on it were like, "Hey, we put a lot of time in the first episode, and like really, that's all that's worth." Like the second and third
wow,
episode look horrible.
it's kind of a shame. Like why? Why? I
Yeah,
guess like
I
just
don't know. Also, like you can even notice some issues popping up in the first episode. Like the pacing is
mm,
so weird. Um, so yeah,
mm,
if you watch it, watch the first episode. It's great. It's like about a village like falling like trapped to like it's like very Lovecraftian. Like everyone starts getting obsessed with spirals.
mm.
It's kind of cool. It's pretty dark and it's fun.
Have you read the manga?
Yes, I own it. I think it's
Oh,
amazing.
would you recommend just reading the manga as opposed to
Yeah,
watching the show?
I probably
Okay.
would just but we're a movie podcast. We have
True. Yeah, no
to
reading here. Reading's
no
not
reading,
allowed
guys. No reading.
unless it's subtitles.
Mhm. So yeah, the other anime I was gonna recommend was Dan. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that right.
What? Okay,
Dan. Yeah, that's right.
that's me.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's a new anime that's coming out this season. Like the first 3 episodes that have come out. It's about like the cult. It's about like UFOs. It's about like psychic powers. It's a shonen. It's kind of dumb but really fun.
Art style looks
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's made by like my like new. I would say like some of the like one of the best like um animation studios right now. Science Saru because
Mm.
they originally made Me and Brendan's Love, which is Ping Pong the animation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
they also recently made the Scott Pilgrim anime.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really starting to think that they may be like like the next big studio. But I really hope they don't pick up a lot of projects. I hope that they just do like
Mm,
cool random shit.
Yeah.
Not become like fucking
right.
Studio Mappa and like have like 1,000 projects and none of them get finished.
Well, isn't that not to like throw it in your face, but isn't that kind of what happens? I mean, a studio is
Yes.
successful, more people are going to
Yeah.
want to work with them, right? I mean,
Yeah, but the idea is like maybe that they only like stick with like they stick with what they're comfortable with. I don't know.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a happy middle where they have, they do a lot of work, but they keep the quality up, I guess.
Hmm. Oh man, they're making a Ghost and Shell TV anime. Whoa, that's awesome! I just learned that
Mm.
today.
There. What is it?
They're making the Ghost and Shell anime.
Ghost in the
Ghost in the
Shell?
Shell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's. I thought there is an anime for that. Like
they're gonna do
It's a
a
Pop.
movie.
remake. Yeah, they're doing a remake in
Oh.
Oh.
2026.
Well, there's an anime
Okay.
movie. Is there
Hmm.
an anime show?
Yeah.
There's no
Standalone.
anim.
Oh.
Standalone
There's
complex. I heard it's also really good.
oh really?
Hmm.
I guess there's a new one. I don't know. It looks kind of cool though. Like I don't know if there's a trailer, but it looks kind of sick.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, if it's made by them too, I'm actually so excited.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
It,
yeah. Now anything made by them, it's like
yeah, anything made by them, you're like, okay, well, you have to at least give it a shot. Um,
exactly.
all right, and I'll just talk about the last movie I saw. The last movie, oh well, the only movie I saw, but I saw a movie called sorry. It's gonna come up in a second. It's What's Inside. It's a movie that came out this year. It's kind of a horror adjacent kind of thing. It's kind of similar to like a movie called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. If you guys have seen that,
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I've not seen it either.
yeah, it's kind of like it's definitely a cool premise. Where it goes, I'm not the hugest fan of, but I can see how a lot of
Mm.
people would like it. Yeah, it's definitely not the worst thing you'll watch, and it's definitely not the best thing you'll watch. But it was a good movie overall.
Yeah, it seems interesting. I'd never heard of this.
Yeah, it came out just like very recently. I think it came out on some streaming platform, and people.
Yeah, looks like it's a Netflix joint.
Oh yeah, I see it on
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah, I think it was on Netflix, and then it kind of just got popular from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's me.
Oh,
That's
nice.
all.
I want to
Yeah,
watch that now. Actually,
yeah. If you want to watch it, like, let me know what you think.
I got you. It's what's inside. Cool.
Cool. All right, Dan. Let's get you your recommendation.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I've got a few options. I'm not just doing it to relinquish responsibility, but because each one kind of has a caveat.
Okay.
The first is oh god, what the fuck is it called? Hold on.
What the fuck is it called?
No,
Oh, I
no.
heard of that.
Yeah, I know. I think about it all the time. Bo is Afraid.
Oh, okay,
Is
cool.
the first. Has anyone
Oh
seen
yeah,
that?
No, I was planning
Okay.
on watching it for a long time, but I never got around to it.
Okay, so
yeah.
that's the first one. I thought maybe you guys would have seen it, so that's what. Um, the other one was a movie called The Tenant, which is a Roman Polanski 70s movie. The caveat for this one is it's Roman Polanski, so I
Hmm.
don't know if we want to like love on him, during a podcast. And then the other is a movie called Magic, which I'm sort of least excited for, but I thought was the safest bet. Like I didn't think either of you guys would have seen it. It's like I maybe the first or like a classic, like possessed creepy dummy movie starring Anthony Hopkins. Like he's like a
Cool.
ventriloquist type deal.
He kind of looks like a
Uh,
like ventriloquist.
Yeah, yeah, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, he could be. I mean, he's a great actor. He could do anything he wants.
I'm actually
mm,
down for any of these.
yeah.
That
Okay,
doesn't
Let's see.
help
well, that's
too.
good.
What's the last one?
It's called
Magic,
Magic from like
1978.
yeah, it sounds
Oh,
right.
1978.
Mhm.
1978.
Um.
Oh, okay. I'm between Magic and Bo is Afraid.
Okay. I. What are you in between, Dan?
I mean, I put them all out there, so I'm fine with any of them. To be honest, like I feel like the little bit I know about Bo is Afraid, there might be like more to chew on, but like
Hmm.
Magic could be fun because it is like this like classic, uh, not cliche, but trope, horror trope of like the evil dummy. So I feel like both would be fun.
Yeah. So Chuck, up to you.
I'm kind of leaning on Bo is Afraid.
All right, let's
All
do
right.
it.
Bo is Afraid.
Okay, cool. It's 3 hours, so get ready.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
heavy.
actually, I really want to watch Magic. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, cool. Yeah. So if next time you guys want to listen in, Bo's Afraid. It's the last of our Halloween. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Bo's Afraid 2023. Ari Aster. We just talked about one of his movies on this
Oh
podcast.
yeah.
So yeah, good twist. I mean, good tie-in. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
coolly coolio.
connection between all the movies that we've seen, where it was two '70s movies. Although was Halloween '70s or '80s?
I think it was actually like the first year in 80.
Oh well, never mind then. My whole
Let me.
theory that dates fell
Actually,
apart.
I actually don't know. Maybe it is. No, it's
I think you.
78.
Okay, great. So it was two '70s movies, and then it was a movie that seemed to be that was inspired an Ari Aster movie, and then it was Bo's Afraid. So there's a connection.
Yeah, it's all connected if you really think about
Right.
it.
Yeah. Also because it's an episode of the same podcast every time.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the same three guys having bad
Right.
takes about the movies. All right, cool. Well, um, Papa bless, and Yeah, listen in next time. Anywhere you can get a podcast. This has been Chuck.
This has been Daniel.
This has been Brandon.
Brandon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.